Good morning. Choices. It's all about the choices, love or fear here. I am having to change things up after trying to do so many readings last week. The energy drain was just intense. I had to take a couple days of a break. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do a simple 5-card for each sign. And it will be whatever comes up. And then do also every other week, like it was. And then do the bigger love readings for the month. And at least it's where I'm headed. So this is all experimental as far as what my energy can handle coming through. So these will be daily and eventually they will be scheduled on a live basis. But, basically the same kind of thing. It is about the choice of being in love or being in a state of love or being in a state of fear. And it can be about a personal relationship, intimate relationship, family member, job, whatever. So we're going to go ahead and start with Capricorn. And the timestamps will be below. It is like not even 6 a.m. So when live does start, it'll probably stay on the same schedule. So this is going to be just a 5-card, and I'm going to look at the overall energy, do most recent, past, present, next 24 hours, and potential outcome. Now, do keep in mind anything future is not set. It is based on your choices and how you choose to move through whatever shows up. Free will, baby. And I am already a little behind because it's Wednesday. But we'll just move forward as from where we're at. Alright. Capricorn. Overall energy. Capricorn, please. For the next 24 hours. Overall energy for Capricorn, please. Conditions. You guys got a twofer. Alright. 2 cups and the moon reversed. Okay, for Capricorn. Most recent past, please. Present. And next 24 hours. Most immediate future, the next 24 hours. And overall potential outcome. Overall potential outcome. All right. Two of Cups and the Moon in reverse. So the overall is definitely, about love. Now, whether it's union with self or another, but I feel like that with both in reverse, it may be that you haven't been honest with yourself, or someone else hasn't been honest with you regarding their intentions, their feelings, desires, wants. So Two of Cups is about a couple coming together or becoming whole within. So we'll see what the rest of the cards say and see if this is about a person or yourself. That would give me more insight. Most recent past. 10 of Wands, burdens. Releasing the weight of the world. So some sort of, for me, it was okay. Wow. Yeah, okay. Capricorn, this is about coming into union with yourself, I feel like. And recognizing that someone else is not going to be the end all be all. It's got to be coming from within yourself. So you may even be leaving a relationship, letting a relationship go, letting a person go, letting a situation go in order to take that time to spend with yourself. And you may have been giving up too much of yourself to someone outside of you. So you're recognizing this need to focus on you. The 10 of Wands in reverse. This whole reading is, honestly, it is a progression of letting go of burdens from the past, processing through, to this point. Letting go of something or someone, situation, circumstance from the past, coming into your own power, becoming independent and well off. There may be a focus on work rather than love, and the potential future is finding your own power and being independent on your own, taking care of yourself before focusing on someone else or something else, turning that energy inward, recognizing, because you haven't been. Hence, it's created this burdens and attachment to the past situation. And so, Strength and Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is all about taking care of the self, recognizing your needs, wants, desires, and manifesting that in the external. Not quite like the Magician. Someone who's nurturing, caring. As you can see, someone attuned to their own needs, wants, and desires, and they go out and get them. And whatever this situation was over here, this 10 of Wands, wasn't happening, and you're changing that actively. So there you go, Capricorn. Happy Wednesday. Hope that helps. All right, Aquarius. I'm not going to get too deep in the energy for these. Overall energy. Most recent past. Present. Present. Next 24 hours. Next 24 hours. And potential outcomes overall. Overall potential outcome in this situation. Ooh. Aquarius. Alright. Alright, overall energy. Seven of Swords in reverse. It's about something sneaky, hidden, deceptive. Someone trying to get one over on people. Most recent past, Nine of Cups, which is emotional stability, happiness, feeling at home, feeling at ease with things. Then present is Queen of Swords, which, depending on the situation, well, Queen of Swords leading to the Ten of Swords is not a great energy, with a potential outcome being the King of Wands, starting something new, decisively, certainly. So you're starting off with this sort of a little bit of a manipulative, or ending something manipulative. That's what it is. You thought this was stable. You thought this was a stable situation, connection, circumstance, and you finally realized that it wasn't what you thought it was. The situation was not what you thought it was. So you got real honest real quick, and it broke your heart a bit. You felt like the whole thing was a betrayal, because it's not, you feel like someone lied to you or made you think something was there that wasn't, led you on, or in some other way like that. You know, the whole thing was just kind of a big illusion. And you're done. You're moving out of this. You're, moving out of it to start something new, to do your own thing, be in your power, and to create and build what you want. Yeah. And to go from this deceptive, sneaky, not very honest situation just something much more stable and healthy and fulfilling, you know? Yeah. Something more in alignment with your energy. Finding your power. You know, it hurts. You know, Ten of Swords is a pretty painful card, but you're moving through that. So there you go, Aquarius. I hope that helps. And now we move on to Pisces. And this is Wednesday, October 14th. So this goes through Thursday, October 15th. Energy does not recognize time though, so it could be longer, it could be shorter, it could be, energy can be reversed. It can be, roles can be reversed. This could be something that happens tomorrow with Ruth. It could be something that happened, you know, last month. It could be something that happens in a year. But the intention is for the next 24 hours, although with 5 cards even, still coming out to be some pretty powerful things. Pisces. Overall energy. Overall energy for Pisces, please. For Wednesday, 14th. Pisces, I'm feeling a little tension here. This is for the next 24 hours. For Pisces, 14th. So the schedule will be a little off for my intentions, but the monthly for November, and they're in the first and second half. I'll start getting done. Pisces. Recent past. Most recent past days for Pisces. Thank you. That was quite generous of you. Present for Pisces, please. You guys are being really stubborn here. Thank you. Next 24 hours for Pisces, please. I don't really like to mess with future, but 24 hours isn't. Whoa. Alright, Pisces. And overall potential outcome for the situation. Ooh, that didn't feel quite right. Let's see if something else comes out. That's in. It's possible. How are there... Well, that's interesting. There's 2 Nine of Pentacles in this deck. I'll go ahead and take that. How? Okay, well, one came out upright and one came out reversed. So let me... One for each of you. Pisces, you guys are getting a little bit of a different reading. Just because of what came out. All right. So there's a lack of movement in a connection of some type. Knight of Wands in reverse. And I got, you know, misprint. Nine of Pentacles, upright and reverse. Hangman. And then King and Queen of Cups, which is a very powerful soul connection. But Queen of Cups is in reverse. So it could be 2 water signs. You could have 2 water signs. Pisces, you are a water sign, so you could be either one of these. You could be connected with another water sign. You could have water somewhere else in your chart. Overall potential outcome is not having any other options. Is it by choice? Is it by divine guidance? Hard to say. This could be a balancing of energy, you know, where you're overly connected or not connected enough to your emotion. The King of Cups is a very balanced energy when upright. Someone that rules with compassion, kindness, rules with their heart, but hasn't forgotten their head either. The Queen of Cups in reverse can be emotionally manipulative, very insecure, or it can be someone that's strongly withholding. I do feel like those go together. So the slow moving, and this being a very powerful potential connection, I feel like the movement is being halted because of this Queen of Cups, which could be, you know, a feminine energy, female. It could be male with just a lot of feminine energy, but somebody's too much in their emotions, and it feels like they're very... And she's actually, when reversed, she is actually facing the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, and of course the Hangman. So there feels like, because of the emotional, maybe her emotions are too much invested in what is external, finances, work, situation. Maybe there's a feeling like this is not sufficient, and the Hangman being the present energy, so they may be struggling with their external, with their finances, feeling like it's not enough to support something, and, you know, the need to pay more attention to how they're viewing their sense of worthiness and their value. Because if they don't, and this is an if, because future is always if, then this situation is going to lead to this Queen of Cups in reverse. Actually, no, I just got it. This Hanged Man is the conditional peace with two different outcomes. Pisces, this is you. It's all about your perspective. If we move the Hangman down and you recognize your inherent and innate abundance, and the focus isn't so much on what your financial situation is, regardless of whether your physical abundance. So this is a matter of recognition, how you perceive your abundance. Okay, do you perceive, because how we see our wealth externally is literally a matter of perception. It is literally how we look at it. You take somebody who is coming from the streets and you put them in a, you know, $20 hotel, $20 a night hotel for the next month. To them, that's going to be living pretty well. If they've been on the street for a long time, they suddenly have shelter, they have a bed, they have heat, they have warmth, they have, you know, some of those basic conditions met. You take somebody from a mansion living and put them in a $20 hotel, they're going to see it as a lack. They're going to see it as, you know, and there's going to be a lot of stress and anxiety, whereas that person from the street is going to have a lot of gratitude. And the amount is equivalent. It's the same amount of resources available to both. So it really is about your perception. So this is an equal amount. And perception, how you look at things, Pisces, is going to determine if you are going to be King of Cups upright or the Queen of Cups reverse. The lack of options means once you've made that decision about how you're going to perceive, then that's going to be your perception. There's no other choice after this. You've already chosen how to view this situation. And so this is the energy that will be taken on once the decision on how to view your experiences, your situation, you know, and it may be a connection, a slow moving connection, but I think really it's more like there's not much movement because this is internally. There may be some other things feeding into choosing how to perceive. This could be a growth process, an overall longer growth process that extends beyond the next 24 hours, or it may be a situation that comes up immediately. And there's not much movement simply because it's a very short-term situation. Your car breaks down, and do you have the finances to cover it? And how are you going to perceive the situation? And what kind of energy is it going to put you into? And obviously, you know, if you don't have an option, you still have to look at how are you going to perceive the lack of options, and what energy are you going to let it put you into. So this is all internal. So this could be, like I said, something long-term. It could be something immediate and very short-term. But Pisces, you do have the choice. You can choose to see the situation either way. You can choose to recognize the abundance that is present, Or you can choose to be in a mental state, emotional state of lack. And that decision is going to decide how you handle it. So when I say choices, it really is all about choices. And lack, that Queen of Cups in reverse, that's the fear, baby. The King of Cups, that's the love energy. It's gratitude. So, the other one is lack. I hope that helps, Pisces, especially if that's a situation that is coming up in the next 24 hours. At least you have a heads up. And you do have the ability to choose your energy. Moving on to Aries for the next 24 hours. Aries. Pisces, you know what? I really like that one simply because it actually, the misprint actually shows very vividly what love and fear is all about. Oh my gosh. Love or fear is really all about. How our internal workings affect our external situations. All right, Aries, overall energy for the next 24 hours, your overall energy. And most recent past. Ooh. Aries, what is going on with you? Oh my goodness. Somebody's having some kind of something going on. Most recent past for Aries, please. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, alright. Present for Aries, please. Present for Aries, please. What is going on and potential future for Aries in this situation, please? Aries, you're going through it. I knew that Ten of Swords was going to come out. Ten of Wands. But at least the Ten of Swords is in reverse. Three of Swords. Seven of Swords. And overall outcome for this situation. And Two of Wands. Okay, that's... Wow, okay. All right, give me a minute, because we've got a whole big old shift, and I'm not clarifying anything. All right, so you start out with the overall energy as being Ten of Wands, which is burden. Obviously, with the overall potential outcome being Ace of Wands, starting with the Ten of Wands, or Ace of Cups, rather, I'm going to go ahead and say this is moving into a state of self-love, filling your own cup, letting go of, but let's see what's going on in between. Most recent past, We have the Three of Swords and the Seven of Swords. Coming out of that, coming out of this. So I'm not sure what's going on, Aries, because there is a lot more to this story, so I don't feel like this is necessarily just in the next 24 hours. There may be a shift for you, but there is a... I feel like there's a couple of things going on. Seven of Swords to Three of Swords, both reversed. I feel like that, you know, there's some sort of misperception, misunderstanding, something that you didn't see correctly and you overthought, and that caused a lot of heartbreak and perception of deceit, and you're starting to come out of the head a bit. You know, that's not to say that the heartbreak, that the emotional pain isn't there, but I feel like a lot of that was created in the mind. That this was a lot of perception and there was a lot of burden about that. Like you created this. This is ego, fear, ego, pain. And that's not to say that the emotional pain wasn't genuine. That something or someone did not actually cause you heartache. But I feel like what was in the mind really exacerbated it, and you're starting to recognize that and break free of it a little bit. So it's that the emotional pain was real, but the mental pain, the thoughts about what took place, about blame, about whose fault, whatever, you know, you were just overthinking it, and maybe even holding on to something that in the mind that should not have been held onto, and some of that's starting to be released, and that is now leading you to this place of letting go of this concept, idea of being betrayed. So here's where in the past you were thinking betrayal, you were thinking deceit, you were thinking, and that really hurt, and you kept rehashing and rehashing and rehashing. You're starting to come out of that. You're really starting to let go of that idea that you were betrayed, and therefore some of this heartache, Three of Swords in reverse, that's both coming out of that mental state, which is then causing that deeper sense of heartache, the comprehension that maybe perception was a bigger part of the amount of pain you were feeling than whatever it is that got you from the burdensome place, which, you know, this kind of energy would be very burdensome. But I feel like it was more in the head. The emotional pain, yes. Pain happens. Suffering, this is a state of suffering right here. This is what causes suffering. You know, it's not that we don't experience pain, but pain lasts as long as it needs to last. We feel it, we release it. It's an experience. It's temporary. And temporary can be a day, a week, a year. You know, nobody can tell us how long it takes to heal, but it's when we get in our head that it goes on and on and on and doesn't seem to stop, doesn't seem to ease up, doesn't seem to get any better. That is suffering, and that is what we do to ourselves. And that is a choice. Pain happens. Suffering doesn't have to. One is an experience, and one is a state of being. And so I kind of feel like there was more the suffering kind of level here. And now you're coming out of the suffering. There might still be emotional pain, but you're releasing that state of suffering. This, the Two of Wands, this is allowing you to move forward soon. to start planning something new, something more compassionate, you know, because this is so much mental, emotional rather than external. And this is where you are moving from this place of fear and starting to move into self-love and compassion and planning, okay, so I'm coming out of this, I feel better little by little, what's next? What's next is more of the same. Moving more and more into your own highest and greatest good of learning self-compassion and self-love. And this will all end up being a lot better. So it looks like you are going to have a very busy internal 24 hours or so, Aries, but this is awesome. You know, it sucks to be in pain. It sucks to put ourselves in a state of misery, but we do have that ability to look at things differently and see what is actually causing the suffering. Pain is pain. You know, loss is loss. We're going to mourn that. That's natural. Every creature has their own range of emotion. And, you know, in their own ways, they experience a sense of loss, of mourning, what have you. So, you know, we're no different. Suffering, though, that's uniquely human. That's all in the mind. All right, on to Taurus. The next 24 hours, Taurus. You know, I really like my long and in-depth readings, but I'm kind of digging these quickies here too. Wow. Okay, overall. You know, actually, I'm gonna put that back because there's two. So if it's meant to come out, it just didn't feel quite right. Taurus, overall. Let's be clear in our intentions. Way too many, universe. Taurus, are you guys indecisive about something? It's amazing that the cards actually behave in accordance with the energy present. And you can actually feel it when it's a stubborn energy, when there's a trapped, blocked, stuck energy. You know, when there's a delay in cards coming out for an energy. You know, and it explains why Aries actually hurt my thumbs when I shuffled. Taurus is a little bit too. So that tells me that there's, you know, something probably emotionally disturbing going on. There's a little bit of resistance, Taurus. Go figure. Aquarius. Alright, over on. Whoa. Okay. There's that stubborn. Most recent past for Taurus. Too many. Most recent past for Taurus, please. Thank you. Present for Taurus. Potential future for Taurus. And do keep in mind, on daily readings in particular, different energies can be pulled. Energy's fluid. It can change on a dime. So, potential future. 24-hour future. Okay. Man, that Seven of Swords is coming out an awful lot. And potential overall outcome in this situation. Fool in reverse. It's stuck. There's a lot of it's really conflicted energy. There's a lot of wands. So Taurus, you may be dealing with or have fire in your energy. All right, so we have the Fool in reverse. Normally, a Fool in reverse is either somebody not willing to take a chance. Yeah, not willing to take a chance because in some way I feel like that some Tauruses have been feeling like someone took advantage of them and they feel like a fool for it. So they don't want to take that chance again. Eight of Wands, there is, you can actually, it's so obvious. There is a releasing. There is a literal letting go, releasing. You can see the other dandelions down here, and just letting things float away. Like, not just letting, but encouraging, maybe. And the Knight of Wands, there's just no movement. To the Seven of Swords in the immediate future. With the Two of Wands. I feel like, Taurus, I feel like you are waiting and watching, looking for someone, and you feel like it's just a matter of time. Before you catch someone in the act of something that is sneaky, that kind of leads to that. This is a Seven of Swords. That kind of leads into that Ten of Swords kind of energy. Like, you're not, you feel like you've been played a fool in a situation. I don't know if it's probably not a work because there's just no pentacles here. It's almost all, it's wands, one sword, and you are just literally biding your time. You are waiting and looking for, and this, Taurus, this may be a self-sabotage behavior because you are looking for it. Therefore, there is, you know, if you are in this energy of not moving because you feel like you were taken advantage of, made a fool of, and you are looking and waiting for this to show up, and therefore you're just kind of sitting there like, huh, when am I going to see it? You know, that's a self-sabotaging behavior. I mean, if you really think that someone is moving into this kind of energy or something, some situation is going to result in this, then just walk away. Just let it go and walk away, or stop waiting for it, because really, what's the waiting doing for you? What's the waiting and watching doing for you? you're just waiting to catch someone else being wrong, and yet by doing so, you are inhibiting your own joy, peace, happiness, and opportunity. I mean, if catching somebody, you know, being in a sneaky, deceptive, manipulative kind of energy is more important to you than, you know, what the potentials are for you. You know, because this right here, feeling like you were made a fool of, that's your thoughts. Someone else may have, you know, acted inappropriately, done some things that aren't right, ethical, true, genuine, whatever. But they can't make you think and feel what you don't already think and feel. I mean, can someone hurt you when you weren't hurt before? Sure. But that's usually because we didn't see something that we didn't want to see. So you have a choice here. You know, you can choose not to take a leap of faith because you were made a fool of, which is fine. You can also choose to change direction. Take a chance on something different, or take a chance on yourself and change your thoughts and then move into something. I mean, there's so many other options in a situation besides wasting your time and energy you know. At one time you felt like because you refused to be taken advantage of again, to be made a fool of again, to you that felt empowering. That felt very solid. You can choose not to be a fool again, but you don't have to incorporate all this. You can do something else. It's up to you. I mean, if you want to waste your time trying to catch somebody else in the act of something, you know, rather than building your own life, then that's, you know, your call to make, of course. It's all about choices. So, Taurus, I hope that helps. And, of course, we all have to do what is right for us in the moment. I would suggest doing something different, Taurus. Do something a little more creative and productive with your life. You know, that person's not, or that situation, that person isn't worth your time. Just saying. Why don't you reinvest it in yourself instead of them? Because when you invest that much energy trying to bust someone else, but you're like, I'm not going to be taken a fool of, well, or made a fool of again, well, you are being made a fool of, honestly. Only it's not someone outside of you doing it at that point. You're still investing your time and energy into someone else who clearly is not a healthy energy, or a situation that is not a healthy energy. You're still investing your time and energy into it. Just to, what? Prove them wrong? Prove that you're right? You know, the biggest middle finger you can give a person or a situation like that is to be happy. That's not happy. So, up to you, Taurus, whoever that applies to. Best of luck to you either way, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. Gemini, you're up. The twinsies. I don't know where that little... It's 2 p.m. early in the morning, people. I need some more coffee. All right, Geminis. Next 24 hours. Whoa. I didn't even ask yet. You know, I'm getting tired of seeing that. I'm going to pick a different deck. That Seven of Swords just keeps coming out. And it may be appropriate. It may be fitting. I'm kind of tired of seeing that card. Let's see. I'm going to go with something I don't use often just because it's a very odd deck. And the energy of this deck is not nothing, but there's so much that doesn't actually correlate to a traditional Rider-Waite. The energy of them is just... Ten of Cups is supposed to be like a really happy card. Not in this deck. In this deck, I have a couple decks that are really, really dark. And I have learned that there are a couple of decks not to pair because it only pulls shadow energy, and it's an heavy shadow energy. All right. Gemini. I feel like you guys are actually probably in a mood for a deck like this. Gemini. Your overall energy for the next 24. Whoa. Got 2. Okay, most recent past for Geminis. You guys feel like you're in kind of a good place. Gemini. Most recent past for Gemini, please. Present for Gemini. What are you guys doing with the 2s here? I'm torn because one of these doesn't feel right, but I'm not sure why. I feel like it's the 6 of Swords. I'll leave it out, but I don't feel like it actually applies anywhere. It doesn't really flow. But we'll see. It's in reverse. Yeah, potential future for Gemini, please. It might make sense in an outlier kind of context. Next 24 hours for Gemini, please. And potential overall outcome for this situation for Gemini, please. Overall outcome. Thank you. I swear all my cards have wings. All right, kiddos. You know, let me check something real quick. I'll be right back. Just with that particular deck. I don't even still have it. So we have a Heavenly Master in reverse, traditional Rider-Waite. Heavenly Master, it's a little bit different in this deck, but not much. I just wanted to check and see if there were any nuanced interpretations for it here. With the Queen of Coins. So, darn it, why do I keep dropping things? It's one of those. I'm going to blame Mercury on everything for a while, if that's okay with you guys. So Gemini, I kind of feel like you're maybe moving away from your inner resources, spiritual, religion, whatever it is has been your inner guidance, and moving more into the concrete realm, more into what is outside. Now, this is the correlate to the Queen of Pentacles. And in this case, these cards, if you look very closely, Peacock, interesting. Huh. This is a very ego-based card. You can actually tell if you look at her face and her posture. There is a very kind of just haughty sort of energy. And this is in reverse, but it won't make as much sense. This is the Hierophant. A spiritual teacher, master, could be legal, but in this case it is definitely spiritual. And it came out, you see the balance in reverse. And he's got a much more open, peaceful kind of presence energy. Her arms are folded in front of her. She's got a lot of layers on. You know, so there's just this, it's a very egoic, external, material-based, wealth-based energy. So right there, Gemini, is a little bit of a heads up for you. Page of Staves. Which completely conflicts with this. But this is also past, most recent past. There's a wisdom, sort of a sense of going within, of having discovered already what makes one peaceful within oneself. The focus on the inner self. And then we have the Chariot in reverse. The Chariot is typically in traditional tarot is really about mastering our energies within, being able to guide and control them without force, being able to move within them. Upright, this one is pretty aggressive. It doesn't speak much of balance. It does speak of very rapid movement. A very rapid, aggressive movement. But it is in reverse. Because you can actually see, in normal chariots, either on the ground, in the sky, depends on the depiction. But in this case, it's water. And he's got a spear. He looks like he's getting ready to go to war. But you got it in reverse. So that would say that there's no movement either way. Just a standstill. The Magician. I don't pull this card. I'm not sure I've ever pulled this card out of this deck. This is almost like a, again, I feel like this is next 24 hours. This feels like it could be, in traditional tarot, it's about utilizing the energies of the universe to put the energy out there to manifest our deepest and truest desires. I feel in this deck, I said it was very different. It feels almost like a charlatan, like a stage magician. There's these great big expressions, these showy displays, whereas in traditional tarot, it's much more, let me see if I can find it real quick. It's much more natural. It's much more flowing. It doesn't look like he's putting on a show for anyone. You know, he's engaging with the elements within context of the elements. You see the difference? So this magician feels much more like he's on a stage, putting on a performance, trying to impress people. So he may be trying to manifest a material gain by impressing those outside of him. It's not quite the same energy as a manipulation, but it kind of is. Magician in reverse can be a very negative. So it's not like a negative manipulation. It is in interest of this energy. And this is present, this is potential future in the next 24 hours. So there may be somebody that comes within your field of awareness that you feel like you need to put on a show. Take your best traits, qualities, whatever, put on the biggest show that you can, utilizing those. So it's not a false manipulation, it is manipulating an opportunity. But right now you're not moving into that opportunity. It feels like this opportunity may move to you. Overall outcome, 6 of Coins in reverse. 6 of Coins is, of course, in traditional tarot about imbalance of wealth. Give and receive, give and take, sharing. It did come out reverse. You can still see that energy here. And he's like a tax collector and he's got kind of a greedy counting sort of thing going on. So that is in reverse. So you may, in general, come out of this space in your own time, because you go from this inner to this more egoic. So this Chariot, it's like that where you're at right now. It's like you're somewhere in between, and maybe you're trying to balance the two. But you are giving this more energy right now than you are this, which would explain the 6 of Coins. The 6 of Swords, you have 2 6s. I do feel like this belongs, and I actually feel like it belongs with the 6 of Coins. And it's about the 6 of Swords in traditional tarot is right away is a boat with swords in it, moving. It means moving to calmer waters. In this case, I feel like the reverse is about moving to calmer waters. Because as you can see, these are female warriors. They are practicing. They are getting ready to perhaps go to battle or get into some kind of skirmish. So it's kind of an aggressive action feeling sort of card. You put the swords down, and the tone changes completely, and I kind of feel like that's what's going on. And so it's kind of a rebalancing. So I do feel like maybe you may be just kind of experimenting with what's going on for yourself. You know, which of these energies is preferable. You may float between them on a day-by-day basis. It just may be for the next 24 hours, you need to be in this, you know, ego-based external energy. You may know that this opportunity is coming in the next 24 hours, and you just kind of have to chill and play the game. You know, literally chill and play the game in order to get this particular need met in the moment, which then allows you to feel like you are free to go back to this. Because I don't feel really like any of these are necessarily fixed for you, Gemini. It does feel like it floats back and forth, and that's why both of these came out. It's just, you know, one day it could be like this, another day it could be like this. I mean, that's the nature of Gemini, really. I think that sort of confirms who we're talking about. So, Gemini, I hope that helps. Whatever this is, if it is an opportunity that is in your highest and greatest good overall, then I'm sure universe will work in your favor to achieve that. But do try to, you know, as you can. It's not easy, so I don't say this lightly. If there is a way for you to be simultaneously in both those energies, that would probably be in your best interest, and then you can just sort of be a little more balanced all over, because I would imagine it's kind of, well, I operate a little bit of the same way in those extremes, so it can be very tiring to go back and forth like that. But, you know, there's some things where our energy just takes a little more effort and work and time to learn to get into that consistent state of balance. So Gemini, I hope that's helpful. I try not to say good luck, because sometimes good luck is not what's needed, even if it's what's wanted. So may the divine guide you on this situation and on this journey to your best and highest good. All right, Cancer. Let's see what's going on for you guys. Us guys, you guys. I try not to put my energy in these, but sometimes I am in the collective that gets pulled. It is not intentional by any stretch. Cancer and Leo both. The Cancer being more intuitive, that's one that's more inclined to occasionally get tossed in with the same collective group, because I think a lot of us are absolutely in some of the same places, and I do not control what collective is being drawn on. It's whoever needs it or is asking for guidance to the highest degrees. That's what comes through. And we all change from day to day. We have a different kind of day today. We had a different day yesterday. May have a different day tomorrow. So, you know, and that all shifts around and moves. So you could be in one collective yesterday and a whole different collective today. All right, Cancers. Overall energy. And most recent past. I do ask for unbiased, by the way. Most recent past, thank you. Present. Whoa, that was... To the future. And overall outcome for this situation, please. Do keep in mind, periodically I'm reminding everyone, the future is not fixed. Take them with a grain of salt. The rest of the reading may resonate, does not mean the outcome is fixed. Decisions, crossroads, all of that, these are possibilities. These are potentials. Your choices, decisions, opportunities, all of that have an influence on outcomes. Overall outcome for this situation. Overall potential for this situation. So the outcomes that are being drawn are based on, you know, the certain energy that is present right now. That was dumb. Overall outcome, that was not. Thank you. Interesting. Okay. So, wow, we've got some pretty intense stuff here. Two of Swords overall. This is about traditional tarot. It's about crossroads. She's often blindfolded. The swords cross. Here, there's no crossing. There's no closure. There's no indecisiveness. This is a very, I know what I'm doing. A very strong, a very powerful, feminine kind of energy, warrior energy. So I don't feel in this deck that this is an indecision. I don't feel like it's necessarily a crossroad. There is a choice to be made, though. There is movement in this card, whereas in Rider-Waite decks, there is not. She's sitting. She's still. She is very focused, very determined. But I feel like the other side of that is what she is going towards necessarily what she should be going towards. Or is it better to be still and put down the swords? So, you know, there is a determination, there is an aggression, but if you look too, you kind of get, so she's moving towards this red, which tends to have kind of an aggressive energy to it. You have the green, there's a lot more green, which indicates peace. So I feel like the decisions, the choice, the crossroads are indicated more in the color and the subtleties of the card. And if you choose to get up, this is the energy you're going to be in. But there is a determination here. There is a, I know what I'm doing. It's not a matter of being indecisive or uncertain. You know, there's a definite, I'm going for this. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to get it. And the ends will justify the means. Well, will they? So then, recent past, justice reversed. A lot of fire energy here. A lot of fire energy in traditional tarot. That is not what justice card looks like at all. Came in reversed. So think of it as more like the yin yang. You know, the masculine version, the sun, the moon would be yin, I believe, is feminine, yang is masculine. I always get it backward or incorrect, but moon is feminine, yin, yang. Yeah, yang is feminine. So this is like the yin, the sun energy, the masculine. Justice is the one that would, you know, have that masculine decision, you know. So something may have felt, in the most recent past, may have felt like it was not equal, not balanced, not fair. That could be this wanting to go in and create your own justice. The Emperor reversed is your present energy, Cancer. An unusual energy for a Cancer. I actually don't pull this one much either. And you know, this Emperor is interesting. He's got the role and the title and the position. He's got the garb. And he's got a very soft, almost pliant sort of energy. You know, he's got the title, he's got the position, he's got the material wealth, but he's kind of a pushover energy. And it could just be, in these cards, he's supposed to represent just a very gentle soul. So reverse that. You know, if everything reversed, you don't have the power, you don't have the prestige, you don't have the finances, and you're hard as freaking stone. And which, with a Cancer, because I am one, especially if you happen, with all this fire, if you happen to have any Leo in your chart, or you're a cusper, or you're a rising, hello. Yeah, fire energy can be pretty intense. And then you put that emotional Cancer on top of it with the shell and everything else. When Cancers get hurt, especially if they have fire energy in them, it can get pretty nasty. It can get pretty hard. It can get very closed off and at the same time aggressive. So, that's your present. Potential future, 9 of Cups. Obviously, if you have 9 cups and you are wearing a headdress and attire like that, there's a lot of stability, there's a lot of engagement, there's company, there's peace and comfort, material, emotional. This really represents emotional, but you can tell that the material is in there too. So, you know, the potential outcome. Now, how we get from these energies to this one, well, the overall outcome, Page of Coins reversed, which would normally be, this is very interesting. This gentleman, upright, he's, wow, okay, the details. It's all in the details. So this is a gentleman that's older in appearance. He's got the gray beard, mustache, just a little bit, you know, like a regular person, not a warrior, not a court person, not someone that's highly established, you know, but not necessarily someone that is, you know, street poor, what have you. But if you look even closer, he doesn't really look Asian, Japanese, like most of the other drawings do. You know, they have more softer, more oval, elongated features, much more slanted in the eyes. He doesn't quite look like that. And if you look, he's wearing Nikes. So usually the Page of Pentacles would be somebody coming in with an apology and offering. Swords can be apology, just depends on the energy of the card. It's somebody coming in with something to offer, something material. Usually it can be a gift. It can be a literal physical gift. It can be a gift of trade. You know, I'll give you this if you give me that. It can it can be a, you know, just a peace offering of some kind. It's a gesture. It's an external gesture of some sort that says, you know, I'm opening the door to create X. And but he doesn't jive with the rest of the cards. He doesn't actually fit. It came in reverse. So to go from these other energies here of this aggressive energy, like I'm going in, I'm going after whatever. But her back is turned to the rest of this. I feel like overall outcome with the Page of Coins, I think somebody might come in, like whatever situation or person created this sort of sentiment, this person comes in with this and you're like, nope, I'm going in the other direction. And then that's what puts you in this energy. Because by going in the other direction and doing it quickly, swiftly, assertively, by rejecting that, it kind of pulls you out of this imbalance, unequal emotional space and gives you this ability to stabilize yourself. You know, this is if you also look, it looks like the same character. Looks a lot like the same character. Which would definitely be kind of that Leo energy, the difference coming into play in the hurt Cancer. And this might be how you are when you're balanced. And it could be a lack of offering. Like maybe this is where the injustice is. Like this person did not bring that in. So it could be, you know, there's a few different minor ways this story, but effectively what I'm getting out of this is that some situation, circumstance, or individual, something occurred that took you out of maybe your typical, you know, balanced, happy energy. Devolved to this. I don't know if it's really a devolvement. Got into these energies, feeling like something was unfair, unbalanced, unequal, and got, frankly, kind of pissed about it. And it could be this is the reason, you know. But the thing is, it has to be realized, Cancer, is that this situation, what needs to be worked on is regardless of what this person does or didn't do. This is a control issue right here. That's a control issue. Justice, that's divine. You let the divine handle that. You don't need to. You don't need to let this put you in this kind of energy. You know, the balance that needs to be reached is right here. No matter what this other experience does or doesn't do, who they are, who they aren't, to allow ourselves to come from this to this and this, when this is not our job. There's some things to work on, but that's a pretty high level kind of working on, Cancer. So, you know, we are human. We have our feelings, we have our reactions, but, you know, take the time, take a little time. If this is something that comes up in the next 24 hours, you know, just something to pay attention to. It's an opportunity to learn to do things differently. So, hope that helps, Cancer. And moving on to Leo. These are still, I love doing these. And I may have to finish Virgo, Leo, Scorpio, and Sagittarius later. Unfortunately, guys, I also have a day job. So I'm trying to figure out how to get everything worked in for these without being late to work. So I'm going to do Leo. The rest of them will have to wait. I will just have to learn to get a little faster or start a little bit earlier. And I do apologize. I may not have time to timestamp and get this uploaded until the end of the day, which is also unfortunate. All right, Leo, overall energy, the next 24 hours, overall energy. The most recent past. Most recent past for Leo, please. Eight of Coins again. Present for Leo. Possible future, next 24 hours for Leo, please. Next 24 hours for Leo, please. Thank you. And overall energy, overall possible outcome for this situation, please. Something looks like it's ending. Pardon me, guys. I need to pause for just a moment. Okay, Leo. Sorry for the pause there, the disruption in the video. Alright. 10 of Cups, typically the happiest card in the deck. How on earth did this happen? Oh, it's probably the rest of the shuffle. Okay, got all the cards. So, Normally this is the happiest card in the deck, or not, that would be a Sun card really, but this Ten of Cups, it's ultimate fulfillment, emotional fulfillment. But if you look at this, and it carries the energy, these cards are crazy. They carry the same energy that is expressed in the imagery. There's kind of a carelessness, kind of a taking for granted, and this kind of snarky, smart alecky, you know, oh, I've got this. And it feels very much, and has since I got this deck, just kind of screams at this sort of almost cocky, taking for granted, trying to, yeah, and eventually one of those cups or a bunch of those cups are going to get dropped. And then that Ten of Cups is not going to be so happy. Also, Ten of Cups in other cards show more than one person. So you've got this clearly well-fed individual juggling, you know, somebody's emotions. Again, we have the Page of Coins. This has showed up in Cancer too. So Cancer, Leos might want to check out the Cancer in case there's placement in your chart. Like I pointed out before, this guy kind of just doesn't fit in. So all the other cards definitely have a Japanese, here I'll pick any other, have a much more Japanese kind of feel to it. I just picked a random card. You know, the more elongated face, which he does kind of have, but it's not the same. You know, the eyes aren't the same. The shape of the eyes, the shape of the face, overall, the features just is not the same. The hair texture does not come across the same. And the real big teller on this one, the shoes. So I feel like this guy just doesn't really quite fit in. He's not quite as true and to the environment situation as what is worn and what is attired might look like. It feels more like a pretense. So Page of Coins typically is like an offering, a peace offering, something it could come in form of an apology. So could the Page of Wands, Page of Swords. So it kind of depends on what's around, but it is some kind of offering, something small, small gift, a small gesture. You know, it could be to make peace if there's been an argument. It could be to set a situation straight where, you know, maybe a small due is in order, you're paying someone back, maybe they bought you dinner, you know, that kind of thing. It's not anything big, but it may not be genuine. You know, which kind of goes with this energy of this particular Ten of Cups. Then you have the Universe, which is the end of the tarot deck. Which is effectively the world. It is a final ending. It is a closure. It is time to start something from scratch, all from beginning. You're done with this cycle. You're done with this situation, circumstance, individual, whatever it is. Everything has balanced out the way it's supposed to, and now it's time for it to end. And it's time to move on to something new. With a new fool. So this is your present energy. Now, are you actually walking away? We'll see. Nine of Cups. Coins, sorry. Nine of Coins is usually a card of independence, stability, wealth, you know, someone on their own, independent. And here it looks like a child, very childish, young, youthful energy who is playing with all these coins, may not take them too seriously as far as their monetary value. I mean, if you look at what she's paying attention to, she's playing with the coins, but really kind of paying attention to nature. She's got this frog, which is sitting on her back, on her shoulder. That's what she's paying attention to. She's dancing on this flower. She's dancing. She's using the coins to play with. That's not where her actual focus is. They're there. She uses them to enjoy her experience in life, but it's not her focus. Came out in reverse. Six of Staves, Six of Wands. This particular Six of Wands is, there is a very strong sense of authority, and yet it's balanced. It's kind of a fair energy. So you have this matron, and she has two wands, right? So you know she's kind of in charge. And then you have these maidens behind her holding the other four wands. It's very much sort of a matriarch, wise offering. You see how the other ladies are looking to her. She's in front, she's guiding, she is directing, she is, so it's a very appropriately balanced kind of matriarchal energy. You know, of course, it has the potential to create conflict. And in this case, it does look like that is what's occurred. Because it came out in reverse, so there may be you or someone else that sees themselves as in a position of being in charge, and either they're overstepping that boundary or they're not stepping up. I feel like this particular Ten of Cups is like a false foundation, like it's a perception of happiness, but it's not a very strong one. It may be a temporary emotional happiness. It's not the ultimate. So this is the overall energy for the next 24 hours. So there may be some recognition here. There may be something, a situation or someone that's attempting to give to it. You may be trying to give to it, or you may have tried to give to it. You may have tried to move toward it, offer what you have to offer. But this not quite fitting in, you know, it's just not jiving. The end of a cycle, the end of a situation, the end. So that would suggest, obviously, that you are in a present situation of maybe withdrawing this energy, recognizing that this isn't as stable or quite as fulfilling, quite as collaborative, quite as whatever it is you thought it was to make it the ultimate happiness, a great abundance, what have you, whatever it is you have given to it. You haven't given a lot. You've given some to it. And there was a sense of happiness and fulfillment here, but it may have been very temporary, very unstable. And so you may be starting to recognize, Leo, that it's maybe time to let it go. Potential outcome in the next 24 hours, Nine of Coins in reverse. know that you're actually even thinking about giving it that much consideration. To be honest. Like, this is someone who doesn't focus on their money because they have enough to just play with. So your focus may not be to play, it may be on work. You may not be giving a whole lot to this, period. But if you're not investing in it, it needs to end. I mean, if you're really not, if this is all you're investing in it, then you're probably wasting your time. And I feel like that's kind of what this is suggesting, is you're wasting your resources. You're gonna find you're wasting your resources. You're not getting this full enjoyment out of it. You're not getting the full benefit of independence and stability and the opportunity to enjoy what that garners. You're just kind of there. And it's really just kind of blah. You're no longer in this appearance of Ten of Cups. It's really kind of just feeling sort of fake, I think. And this is a potential outcome. Yeah, this is that. I think this goes very well with this, actually. This is that I'm not making any decisions. I'm not taking leadership or making decisions. This is like a, I feel like this is mutual. I think this is I feel like this is a relationship kind of thing, or a start of a relationship or something new along those lines. Could be friendship, but it's like nobody's actually giving to it. There's this kind of the illusion of temporary happiness or whatever. Nobody's actually feeding it. I don't feel like this is just your energy, Leo. Laura, where did Laura come? Maybe somebody out there is named Laura that is part of this. And if you're not actually investing in it, if it is not actually part of your overall joy and abundance and independence and self-love and just enjoying life, really enjoying life. Look at the difference here between this and this. Between this, goofy stuff. There we go. Sorry. Between this dude here and this. This is one coin. This is one coin. You're going to give and accept one coin when this energy is present. But it's not being manifested. It's not being tapped into. Now, why? Why? If this energy is available to you, why would you take this? I mean, I know it's a 10 of Cups, but it's not really. Not a traditional tarot. Because really what's being given and invested is offered and received is that. Why? When you could have that within yourself. And I feel like maybe this is just, I don't know. It's up to you, Leo. You know your situation. I don't. But there is just sort of a... I feel like you just don't want to make a decision. You don't want to take charge of, you don't want to actually utilize that Leo power, that Leo energy. I mean, these are all wands, and there's just nothing. You're just standing there looking at it. And you've got all this power behind you, and you know, you're being guided. And so, Leo, that's what I have for you. I hope that helps. I really, well, you do what's good for you, obviously. You know what your options are. You know what your situation is. I do not. These are pretty short readings, and I hope that helps, and I hope that offers enough clarity to get you to wherever it is you are wanting to go. And speaking of going, I will have to do everyone's later. And hopefully everyone has a fantastic day. And that's it. I'll see the rest of you guys later on today. Blessings.